Hi y'all, it's Andrea. As promised, I have recorded a step-by-step video tutorial for you on how to craft this 3-compartment zipper pouch with fully finished interior and exterior seams using quilt weight cotton, a little bit of interfacing, some zipper by the yard, a zipper pull, and 2 zipper caps to create a darling design. If this looks like a project you'd be interested in learning how to make, please do join me and I will show you step by step how to sew this great art bag. So to make this project, you're going to need 4 pieces of cotton material which are 10 inches wide by 9 inches tall. If you have a directional print like I have here, you can go ahead and cut 4 pieces of your exterior fabric 5 by 10 and then join those together and trim up the panel so that it is then 10 by 9, and you'll have a seam at the center of the 2 exterior panels. If you are working with a non-directional fabric, you can simply cut out 4 rectangles that measure 10 by 9. 2 of the panels are going to get backed with a fusible lightweight interfacing. I selected Pellon 808 and I backed one of the exterior panels and one of my interior panels. The other 2 panels remain unlined. So to start, you're going to pair up the exterior panels, right sides facing, and the interior panels, right sides facing, and then using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to stitch up the short side, across the top, down the remaining side, and then in 2 inches on each side of the base. And you will also do that for the interior panel. We will be turning these panels through the hole in the base, so now is a great time to preheat your iron. Okay, I have stitched around all of the sides for the exterior and the interior, leaving a hole to turn both of these at the base. I want to come in and trim up the excess around the seam allowance, and I am angling those corners. Once you have your seams trimmed up, then you can gently turn the lining and the exterior right sides out. Poke out those corners and then give this a good press. And now you should have 2 pressed pieces which appear to be finished around all sides. You still have your opening there, and those edges should have been turned inward and pressed well. These are going to become the top of the center pocket. So we're going to top stitch right across the edges which have the opening. And you can use a 1/4 inch seam allowance for this, just enough to add some detail to that top edge and close that hole. Okay, so the edge that we just put the top stitching along is going to become that center divider which has the shallow pocket on it. We want to work on the opposite side, and we want to install our 14-inch cut of zipper by the yard. I am working with the 3mm zipper, but the 5mm zipper will also work for this. So you want to center these panels on top of that zipper tape and butt those finished edges that do not have the top stitching right against that zipper, and then you're going to stitch down the right hand side and the left hand side, getting as close as you can to the zipper teeth without going over. A zipper foot is very handy for this. And it is the 10-inch side which you will be attaching the zipper to. And it is also the 10-inch side that you would have left that hole to turn. Okay, so I have my zipper attached to the two panels, and I've cleaned up my straight threads. Now I want to separate my zipper teeth so that the panels are independent of one another, and I'm going to position those right sides facing, lining up all the edges and the corners and my zipper teeth, and then working on the opposite end there where we did that initial top stitching. You're going to measure in 1.5 inches and down 2.5 inches. And you can use a chalk marker for this or an erasable pen for this, or in my case I am just marking it with pins so that I don't have to mark on my fabric. And then you will stitch down 2.5 inches, across and up 2.5 inches to create that center pocket. You are leaving these ends unstitched. And so you can see how that creates a shallow center pocket there. And then these ends are still free, as is the base of this. So with the center pocket towards the top and the zipper towards the bottom, you're going to fold in the sides of that first panel and roll up the bottom of that so it is out of the way. Then you can raise up that zipper and overlap the underlying panel there. So if you turn that over, you want that panel to rest right below that zipper tape. And I'm going to get a clip on that and then I'll give you a better view. So you can see that interior panel falls right below the zipper tape, and this is what it looks like on that side. The next step is to stitch up those sides and join those two panels, back stitch right below that zipper and at the base. Okay, so I've stitched up those sides. Now it is time to turn this right side out. Take care to poke out those corners. Okay, so I have one side of the pouch done. Now this opposite side has unfolded, so I want to turn this over so the finished pouch is facing up, and I'm going to fold that in and out of the way and raise up the bottom of the remaining pouch. And I'm going to do the same thing and stagger that opposite edge so it falls just below that zipper tape. If you have a product label, this is a great place to position that at the side. It would be visible from the exterior, and you could just position that so that a smidgen of it is overhanging this seam, and you're lining up this remaining side panel so that the top falls just below that zipper tape. Then you're going to do the same thing, stitch down the right and the left hand sides using the 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitching at the top and at the bottom. Okay, I've stitched both of those sides. Now I'm going to carefully turn this second pouch right side out and gently poke out those corners at the base. So now I have 2 finished pouches which are joined in the center by that center divider compartment. My interior seams are completely finished, as are my exterior seams, and this separation here between the pouches acts as little legs for this pouch, so it already stands on its own. So the last thing that I need to do is thread on my zipper pull and attach my zipper stoppers. I like to use these zipper ends, which have a tiny screw in the base and can encapsulate the excess zipper tape. So you just fold over the edges of the zipper tape around the back side of the zipper teeth and then thread that zipper cap right on the end, and then you take one of these tiny screws and use an eyeglass screwdriver to attach that. And offers you a really professional finish on your zipper tabs. And then because the zipper overhangs, you can unzip that all the way and you have a nice wide access into this pouch. It's really cute. I can totally see how you could add a wristlet tie to this, or even a bank of card pockets on each side or on this interior. There are lots of options for this. I love this project because of the order of operations in which it comes together. I recorded a tutorial last week for you that shows you how to make this from just 2 pieces of material and raw edges. So that is ideal for faux leather, cork, and waxed canvas. That one comes together even faster, although this one is my preference. I think it is nicely finished and truly makes a beautiful gift. There are opportunities for you to incorporate some rivets here, which would further add detail to this project. Please do be sure to share photos of your zipper pouches and other Sewspire projects with me using hashtag @Sewspire on Instagram and Facebook. If you haven't yet had a chance, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you in the comments as well. I read every comment and I do try my best to respond to those as well. It means a lot to me to know how you are using these tutorials and that you find value in my content. So I hope to see you again in a future video. And until then, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. Have an awesome week, and thank you so much for sewing with me.